Boba Fett, one of the most well-known Star Wars characters of all time, considered by many as the greatest bounty hunter in the galaxy. The notorious bounty hunter has only grown in popularity due to his many appearances in The Mandalorian Season 2. But if there's one characteristic that truly makes Boba Fett who he is, it's his armor. The armor first belonged to his father Jango Fett, who was killed in the Battle of Geonosis. The armor was now in Boba's possession, and he decided to paint it the iconic green that we all recognize. He proudly wore the armor throughout his bounty hunting career, until he was knocked into the Sarlacc pit. Although Boba survived being eaten, the armor fell into the possession of Jawas, who later sold it to Cobb Vanth, the Marshal of Mos Pelgo. Years later, a Mandalorian by the name of Din Djarin came looking for more of his kind. Din Djarin struck a deal with Cobb Vanth, resulting in the armor finding its fourth owner. Soon after, Din Djarin encountered Fett, and struck yet another deal, but this time, it was back in the hands of its rightful owner, Boba Fett. Boba Fett's armor tells a story, and that is why it is so important. After years of bounty hunting, the armor accumulated many scratches, dents, and marks. All these imperfections gave Boba the iconic look we all know and love today. Even after he decided to clean his armor for the first time in decades, one dent remained present. Like his armor as a whole, that one dent on top of his helmet also tells a story. In fact, it tells the story of the most important event in his entire life, the event that shaped his legacy and changed the world of bounty hunting forever. But before we get into the specifics about what exactly happened on the day that Boba Fett received his iconic dent, we need to travel back all the way to the Clone Wars. During the Clone Wars, bounty hunting was at its all-time high. With the Grand Army of the Republic and the Separatist Alliance at war, bounty hunters were hired to do the dirty work. Often employed by Count Dooku himself, many bounty hunters were tasked with extremely daring and difficult missions. The likes of Aurra Sing, Bossk, Embo, Dengar, Rako Hardeen, later Asajj Ventress, and none other than Cad Bane himself were roaming around the galaxy performing various jobs. In this pool of successful bounty hunters was where a young Boba Fett had to build his reputation. Throughout his teens, he often performed jobs with Aurra Sing and Bossk. He was somewhat well known due to his father's success, but had not made a name for himself. At this time, among all these other great bounty hunters was Cad Bane, the most successful bounty hunter of the Clone Wars era. Even though Cad Bane was experiencing his glory days, every story has a beginning and an end. Unfortunately, we never got to see how Cad Bane's story ended, as the Clone Wars initially ended when Disney bought Lucasfilm in 2012. Even with the new final season of the Clone Wars, the bounty hunter story arc was excluded, leaving many fans confused about the fate of Cad Bane. This was the case until Dave Filoni was finally granted permission to release one small clip of an unfinished Bounty Hunter Clone Wars episode. In this clip, we see a young Boba Fett, outfitted in his newly painted armor, and Cad Bane face off in a Western-style duel. Both shoot at the exact same time and both fall to the floor. The final clip we see is Boba Fett lying on the ground with a newly forged dent in his helmet. This was a very monumental time in bounty hunting. Cad Bane, the king of bounty hunting, was dethroned by a kid. But this kid was Boba Fett, and he had just paved his way to success. By killing Cad Bane in front of respectable witnesses like Bossk and Embo, Boba Fett had kicked off his legendary bounty hunting career. Now that you guys know the story, I'll play the clip in which this event takes place. So, here it is.
Bane!
I wouldn't be so hasty now, boy.
Let them go, Bane. This isn't their fight anymore.
Always fighting for those in need. That's a quick way to wind up poor or dead. And probably both.
No more innocent people are going to die. All be locked up, all live in fear.
Looks like your little insurrection has failed. Now surrender, and I'll let your friends walk away.
I say, we give the kid his shot.
So that's it. Just you and me then, Boba Fett.
I guess it is.
That was awesome. As a huge Star Wars fan, I get chills watching this amazing clip every single time. I really do hope and pray that one day Disney will complete the Bounty Hunter series so that we can witness the scene in its full glory. But until then, we can still be somewhat satisfied, as I know and now you also know what happened on that eventful day in a galaxy far, far away. All in all, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned something new. I also forgot to mention that another video is in the works. I'm actually going to be explaining the 7 forms of lightsaber combat, so stay tuned for that. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and may the Force be with you always.